Today, I'm going to show you some insane deals in the Pokemon card market. Right now, the market has tons of supply, so you can pick up some cards for super cheap. I've put together a list of some of the best cards I could find so that you don't have to. So let's take a look at today's deals in this episode of Buy It Before I Do. Alright guys, it's been a minute since we've done one of these. Sorry about the lack of uploads lately, we've been super busy. We've also been doing a ton of streaming on Whatnot. If you haven't checked that out already, there is a link in the description. We've been doing about 3 or 4 streams a week, so definitely come check that out. Alright, but today we're going to start off with some Obsidian Flames cards. The first one on today's list is going to be this Ice-Q EX Secret Illustration Rare. So a lot of the times what happens when a brand new set hits the market, so many people are doing mass box openings that the singles actually tank a little bit further down than they probably should. So this card in particular I think is a really unique art, and again, these Secret Illustration Rares are kind of like the top tier cards that you want to be pulling out of the boxes. And for this card to already be at $6, I think this is probably a pretty good pickup right now. All right, next up for Obsidian Flames is going to be the Larvitar art rare. This card is definitely one of the better looking art rares in the set, and it also does have some playability factor because some people are playing the Tyranitar EX. Not only that, but in Paldea Evolved, we also got a Tyranitar art rare as well. That is actually one of the most expensive cards in Paldea Evolved. So I think this Larvitar art rare is currently being a little bit overlooked because right now you can pick it up for around $3. With how popular the art rares are in these new Scarlet and Violet sets, I think this is a really good deal currently. It really seems like most people are just collecting these art rares and kind of passing on some of the other cards in the set. So this one I definitely think is one of the better deals of Obsidian Flames. Alright guys, so the Silver Tempest and the Lost Origin reprints have hit the market, and it has definitely affected the singles prices. This is going to create a really good opportunity to pick up some of these cards that maybe you've been chasing for a while for a really low price. For example, here of course the top chase card in the entire set, the Lugia V alternate art, has been dropping in price for the last 3 months from $175 all the way down to around $130 to $140 right now. I think that's absolutely way too cheap for this card, especially with how hard it is to pull. Lugia is already one of the most popular Pokemon just in general, and this was the only alternate art card of the Sword and Shield era for Lugia, so I'd really think this is a good pickup. Alright, and again, I know this card has made a list before, but I really think it's time to just double down on these low prices. I don't think we'll see an opportunity to buy these cards for this cheap probably ever again, so with these additional singles flowing in from all these reprints, it has still pushed the prices down on some of these cards. This gold Lugia right now is going for under $20, around $17 to $18. This card is actually still quite playable, and with a gold card still being around, I really think this is a good pickup. Right now, again, there are so many cards in Silver Tempest you could probably get right now, but just to point out a couple, I really think both of these Lugia cards are a really good deal. All right, and now on to Lost Origin. And again, a very similar thing is happening. There was a Lost Origin reprint, so a lot more singles are hitting the market. This Pikachu card has been one of the top chases in the entire set. It's a beautiful card. This card has been in the range of $40 to $50 in the past, and again, with Lost Origin being as old as it is now, we probably won't see another reprint, so this is the best opportunity to pick up some of these cards. This Pikachu going for under $25 is an absolute steal. This is easily one of the best looking Pikachu cards in my opinion that they've come out with. It's a textured full art. It's even got the trainer in the background. That and Lost Origin also has some pretty good print quality. So if you're able to grade this card as well, this will make it an absolutely great slab. All right, and to continue the Lost Origin and the Pikachu train here, and I know this is another one that made a list in previous episodes, but we really just have to double down when you see prices like this. There really is no universe where this card should be $7. And again, the pull rates on these black and gold cards were not super high. You maybe got 1 or 2 of these in an entire case of booster boxes. So again, you really cannot go wrong with a card that looks this good. It's a Pikachu. It's relatively rare, and again, for $7, it's just an absolute steal. Real quick, we're going to be giving away an entire booster box of Obsidian Flames to 1 lucky subscriber. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is like this video, subscribe to our channel with notifications on, and comment down below a card that you think is undervalued. All right, back to the video. All right, I usually don't include super expensive cards on these lists, but I do think it's worth talking about the Giratina V alt art from Lost Origin. The reason is because this card was so incredibly difficult to pull. Lost Origin statistically had the worst pull rates on alt arts out of any Sword and Shield era set. You got roughly 1 alternate art per entire case of booster boxes, so the odds of pulling this card were significantly lower than any other alt art. That, plus this is probably the second highest chase card in the entire Sword and Shield era. So if this is a card that you've been chasing for a long time, now might be the time to pick it up. All right, so next up, we're actually going to look at some Japanese cards. And this is a really fantastic trend that I've noticed over the Scarlet and Violet era. A lot of the secret rare cards are actually more expensive in Japanese, but when it comes down to the art rares, you can actually pick these up for a lot less than some of the English ones. For example, this Ninetales here is actually selling for around $5 or $6 US, whereas the English version is still selling for around $12. For how awesome this card is in both English and Japanese, I don't really think you could go wrong with buying either one of them. However, with the quality control of the Japanese cards and being able to pick this up for around $5 or $6, I think this is an absolute steal, plus you could potentially grade this card and have a higher value slab. I know for me personally, I'm going to be buying a ton of this card, grading them, and then having a ton of slabs. So definitely get your hands on this card while it's this cheap. All right, and here we have another example of a card that is much cheaper in Japanese than the English counterpart. Currently, the English version of this Charizard EX is going for around $30. Now that comes into a lot of factors. Obviously, there's more demand for Charizard in general, but also this Charizard EX is super playable as well. So the English version has a lot of demand coming from all angles. So if you want to get your hands on a cheaper version of this card, the Japanese version is currently going for around $8 to $9. Also, these terrestrialized cards usually have pretty good print quality as well, so they should be pretty easy to grade, and you can never go wrong with grading a Charizard. All right, so now we're going to move on to Pokemon 151. This recently got another print wave in Japan, so this has once again reduced the prices on a lot of the singles from the set. Right now, you can pick up a lot of the art rares for really low prices. For example, this Squirtle art rare you can pick up for around $5. All of these make really good cards to grade as well. And honestly, I think with the announcement that English will not have the Master Ball Holos, I think over time the demand for the Japanese set will only increase. Overall, it's most likely that the Japanese set will just be an overall better set than the English one, because the English set will not have the Mew secret art rare to pull. It also won't have the Mewtwo art rare. Those cards will be promos in the English Ultra Premium collection, so that plus not having the Master Ball Holos probably means that the Japanese set will be more popular over time. So it might just be a good idea to pick up some of these singles while they're this cheap. Alright, and speaking of the Master Ball Holos, let's go ahead and talk about some of those. So again, because there is only one of these per box, and a lot of people are trying to collect these right now, I think this could be a really good time to pick up some of these Master Ball Holos that maybe you're chasing. We already know they're not going to be in the English set, so the demand for these Master Ball Holos is only going to increase. Now, some of them can be pretty pricey. For example, the Pikachu is actually around $400 right now. But a lot of these other Pokemon that are still really popular, you can get for pretty cheap. For example, this Aber here, you can get for around $10. These cards are absolutely beautiful in person as well. It's such a great idea that they added these little extra chase cards in the set. So just another reason that the overall Japanese 151 set will do really well over time. All right, another great card to look at right now is going to be the Unigaba Evolutions. Now, because the Umbreon is the most sought after card of the set, some of the other ones are getting overlooked. For example, here we have this Eevee for going around $20. As we saw with the Unigaba Pikachu, this set is super popular. As soon as the Evolutions got announced, that Unigaba Pikachu almost doubled overnight. I'm sure that these promos will be limited to some degree. There's still a ton of demand for all of these cards, so to pick up some of the other Evolutions for around $20 to $25 is a great deal right now. All right, and last but not least, we're going to talk about this Detective Pikachu promo that's going to be from the Japanese game. This is currently a pre-order promo for the Japanese Detective Pikachu game. As of right now, this card is going for way too much money. However, I do think that once more supply hits the market, the price of this card should plummet. If this card gets around the $20 to $30 range, I think it's an absolute pickup. This card has a lot of things going on for it. It's going to be a limited promo. It does have that stamp as well. And of course, it's Pikachu. You just absolutely cannot go wrong with a stamped Pikachu promo card. This one, again, being tied to the Detective Pikachu game. I think there's going to be so much demand for this card. The price just needs to come down. So don't buy this card just yet. Maybe give it a couple weeks for more cards to hit the market. If it gets down to that $20 to $30 range, definitely pick it up. All right, that's it for today's list. I hope you found this information useful, and if you did, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. That way you don't miss future episodes. Also, if you want to help support the channel, definitely come check out our Whatnot streams. If you are a new user, you can use the link in the description for $15 credit. We do live auctions for singles and slabs. We do giveaways and also pack breaks. It's always a ton of fun, and it's a great way to interact with you guys. All right, thanks so much for watching until the end, and with that, we'll see you next time.